But my first deal was super easy, man. It was a couple that actually found me on social media.
Oh, brother, I got to interject. Say that one. Where did they find you at?
They found me on social media.
There it is, people. Take advantage of the free social media, but go ahead.
Hey, gang. The Headley Group Real Estate Show is a video-audio podcast designed to highlight and interview real estate professionals, entrepreneurs, and other fields alike. The mission of our podcast is to acknowledge people of color and show their successes, and in return, help our audience learn from them and pick up tips and tricks in building additional income.
Hey, ladies and gents, this is Mike Headley. We are back. Another great episode on the Headley Group Real Estate Show. We highlighting a brother all the way in the state of Oregon, right? Portland. This brother right here has been in the business 2 years, so he's not fresh out the box, but 2 years in the game. He has the master's in business management. In terms of one of the great things that he has is that I really like. This brother is a songwriter, right? Songwriter, which we never had that on the show before, and he was featured in the Black Estate. Let's give a warm welcome to Mr. Marquis Malcom with Property Group Real Estate Northwest. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well, man. I appreciate you having me.
Oh, man.
Long overdue.
Long overdue. And like we always say, we keep it authentic on our show. We couldn't get our schedules right? But the brother circled back around and said, hey, listen, I can do the show. So we carved out some time, and I'm going to thank you for doing that.
Yeah, man. Thank you.
I mentioned it during the opening remarks, 2 years into the real estate game. Okay. What made Marquis say, Marcus, correction. What made Marcus say that I want to get into this real estate business, right? I'm doing this, but I want to get into this kind of full time, if you are full time.
Yeah, 100% full time.
Okay.
You know, it was kind of a build up for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've done numerous jobs. You know, I worked in higher education. Okay. I worked in the nonprofit sector. I worked in corporate. And really, man, it was really the seed was planted when I bought my first house, right? As a first time home buyer. Okay. And kind of going through that process and realizing like, hold on, man, I can do this, you know, and then kind of putting the numbers together around what commission looked like. I'm like, oh man, I can definitely do that, you know, just use my people skills, my personality, you know, all that good stuff to really still do something positive, right? A few more years passed, and I just kind of realized I got to that point where I couldn't work for people anymore. And I still wanted to do something that was impactful, you know, that's still, a big thing that impacted people's lives. You know, that was really huge for me in a positive way. And then also to be able to work in a way that I wanted to work, you know, not necessarily being told this is how you have to operate or this is what you need to do when I knew better, right? Just kind of got to a point, man, where with all my experience, my education, I felt like it really fit really well with real estate.
I like what you said in terms of when I got my house, that kind of sparked it a little bit. Was it, and again, there's no shade to the broker, whoever represents you at the time, was it a situation where I could do this a little bit better, or this is probably a new avenue I want to go down when you got that spark when you first bought your house?
I mean, I would say a little bit of both.
Okay.
Not that my agent was bad, you know, she got me in the crib. It was a great crib, you know, reaped the benefits of the equity, you know, 5 years later, you know, all the things, but just like looking back, like, oh, like there was a power play that could have been had there, and I missed it just out of ignorance, you know what I mean? Like, even in how I got my realtor, right? Like my property management group referred me to the realtor, and I could have easily worked with somebody else that was in my community or done something like that, but just not knowing, you know, the power play that was involved in that, right? But then also just being like, you know, I can do that, you know, like she's a cool, wonderful lady, but I can do that, you know?
Exactly.
You know, so I would definitely say both. It was
And I like the fact that you mentioned people skills. You said, hey, I got my skill. I mean, why can't transfer these same skills into the industry, be my own boss? You mentioned that. And I'm gonna share a little bit of myself is I didn't like people telling me what to do, right? And I was like, not in the sense of suggestions of advice, but I said, well, I got to do my own thing. And I found that the Avenue Real Estate gave me that vehicle to do that.
100%.
When your last career, because we're going to back it up a little bit, how much did that play a role in what you're doing now? And was it a really plus for you?
100%. I mean, it was right before the pandemic. You know, I wasn't in the greatest situation where I was at.
Okay.
It was super stressful, you know, not making a whole lot of money.
Okay.
Carrying around two, 3 phones at times, you know, always being on call. Everything was, you know, high risk situations, you know, working with young people. You know, so it was just super stressful, you know, and then trying to do it the right way and not necessarily getting that backing it just didn't, you know, it didn't work. It just didn't work for me.
Okay.
It wasn't sustainable long term.
Okay.
So I was at that point in my life where I was like, I need to make a decision, right? I need to really, you know, figure out what I want to do because I can't do this forever. And if I don't make a decision now, I'm gonna be doing it forever, you know?
Got you. Correct. Okay. So
Played a big part.
Played the big part. Got you. You got your real estate license. You say licensed 2 years now. I don't want to overstep in terms of, was COVID here or was it after or before?
Yeah, it was, so I'm a little over 2 years, but I got my license maybe 2-3 months before COVID.
Before COVID.
Like right before COVID, my man.
So how did that play a role in terms of, man, this happened because it literally disrupted a lot of industries for the moment. What was your thought process and how can I continue to work through this pandemic that we're still in?
Yeah, I mean, it was what it was, you know. It did, you know, there also was opportunities that posed themselves. You know, the first month was a little rough because everything was shaky. Those first couple of months, I mean, everything was tossed up. But then once things settled a few months later, man, you know, the market went crazy. You know, it made it hard for some people. It made it a little bit easier for other folks, you know. But for me, also, what I would say is, even though I was just getting started, so before I got into real estate, like I kind of went away from social media for a little bit, right? And then came back and kind of rebranded myself as, okay, this is what I'm doing now. This is it, right? And because of COVID, right, people went back home. Social media became even more important, right? Because that's where people were connecting. That's where people were doing the thing. And I feel like it was more intention behind that than normally, you know, just scrolling. Correct. Kind of scroll. So for me, kind of building that social media brand and really connecting with people and using that actually really helped me. You know, when that first year, social media was a big part of me building my business and connecting with people I didn't know, you know, people be able to see me, right? So yeah, man, that, and I still reap the benefits from that. You know, it's been really big for me.
I like what you said about the power of social media, which I want to transition into that. Yeah. How we all know it plays an important role into our business. We understand it. But what do you say to a person who says, well, I'm afraid to get in front of the camera. I'm afraid to post something. What to post? What do you say to that newbie?
I mean, it's a big part of knowing who you are and authenticity, right? And I think once you know that and you're comfortable in that, it becomes easy, you know, because you're always posting something that's authentic, something that's true to you, you know, and whatever's authentic and true to you, if it connects with people, then, you know, you hit the sweet spot. You know, you can be true and authentic and it doesn't, you know, people could be turned off by it, you know, so it's really finding that balance, you know, and who you are at the end of the day. Like it's who you are, finding confidence in that, you know. And even myself though, you know, even like my social media, like my IG page early on, you know, you could tell if you have a business mind or like a marketing mind, you could tell like the buildup of how, and then once you get in your groove, it's like, I know what I'm doing, right? Especially once you find success too. Hard when you don't find success. To continue like to find things to post, right? People want to see success. People want to feel good. People want to feel like it's obtainable. People want to feel like you're obtainable, you know? And if you can find a way to kind of put all that together, you find your niche, right? Like what makes you different than everybody else. Because everybody could post a meme, you know, everybody can share somebody else's thing. Somebody can share anybody's house, but it's about how you share it, what makes it unique to you. Is it you, and I'm all about feel and vibe. Like, I want people to feel, and if they don't feel it, then I'm not for them. You know what I mean?
Right. That's right. You know, everything what you said out is definitely spot on. One of the key words you use is that authenticity approach, right? And when you speak your truth, I mean, and I think everybody has an audience, right? Whether it be one person or 500,000, everybody has that unique audience that then you target that, but that comes from you speaking your truth through authenticity. I appreciate that, dropping that jewel.
100%.
2 years in, you're in the real estate industry. You're selling. I take it you work with buyers and sellers, and if so, what's that? Do you work in a team or you work by yourself?
Yeah, I work with a team.
Okay.
So with Property Group Northwest.
Okay.
And wonderful agency. We're small group. I like it. Like, to be honest with you. Just a wonderful group of ladies and folks over there that I get all the support I need, man. They do the things that I can't or that I don't like to do, and they're a big part of, my success, to be honest with you. My transaction coordinator is wonderful. Like, I probably maybe would have done half the business that I did to this point, without the help and the assistance they've given me. So, they free me up to be able to go and connect with people and do that thing, rather than sitting and trying to do the paperwork and do this and process that and open escrow. And it's a great situation for me.
Hey guys, thank you for watching our show. We're gonna interrupt you real quickly. We are in the business of referrals. If you know someone looking to buy or sell, residential or commercial, here in the North Carolina area, refer us. We really appreciate that.
Okay, let me ask you that here. Let me ask you a question with that. Somebody on the other side can argue in a good way. Do you take away the skill set? Not necessarily means a skill, but actually calling escrow, making sure documents are signed, et cetera, when if you've never done that, and then when it comes a time for you to have to do it, and not saying you per se would not, but would a person be like, oh, okay, now I don't know what I'm doing, because it's always been done for you. Like, what do you say to that?
Yeah, that's definitely a risk that you run, and I can do those things. Obviously, not as well as my transaction coordinator, right. But that's why I have her.
Correct.
Me, I know myself, right? I know myself since I was a kid. I'm not the person that should be organizing all the finite details of the transaction. Like, that's just not my strong suit, right? So for me, I will always have a transaction coordinator. That's just, and I plan on having the same transaction coordinator. I've built a wonderful rapport and relationship with her, and she knows how to work with me. So, that's another reason why I'm at the agency that I'm at. A large part because I get the exact assistance that I need that works with the way that I work to be able to do the thing, So yes, what you're, to answer your question, you do run the risk. Like, if you don't know how to do it, and then your transaction coordinator has an emergency, right? And which is very, very possible. And then here you are trying to do the things. Like, I definitely would say you got to know how to do it.
Correct. Exactly. But I do applaud you on, and actually I was having a discussion with someone else the other day, the power of hiring help, right? Like, I have two assistants, right? One full-time, one part-time. And because I don't want to do it, right? I found myself to be more efficient, more effective. Let them do that, right? We have an in-house marketing rep. She takes care of this, right? I don't want to do that. So, but I definitely understand it. It's just that I had to ask that question, because someone on the other side just starting out may not have that luxury that we have, and be like, okay, well, should I just automatically get a transaction coordinator? But if she's out or he's out sick, what do I do? So, but I would say it's probably best to learn it and then toss it off to a transaction specialist. But I want to get your spin on that.
Yeah.
Work on a great team, and they provide this great structure for you. What do you say to real estate professionals just getting into the business, and their brokerage where they're at, whereas though everybody want leads. And it's like, hey, brokerage, feed me. All right. Come on, pour it in my mouth, right? Come on, I need some leads. But the leads may not be as profound as maybe they presented when you first had the interview with the broker.
Right.
Now they upset because, or they just still frustrated, I'm not getting the correct leads. I got a response, but I want to hear your take on lead generating for yourself, because it is a business. You're not an employee. So what do you say to that?
I mean, that's a big part. If you can't generate your own business, you probably shouldn't be in the business. So that's, you know, I didn't choose my brokerage because I thought that they were going to be giving me all these leads. You know, it's nice when they come through, you know, it's nice to try to build that and to, you know, get leads 100%. That definitely makes things a lot better and happier brokerage. But for me personally, like, for me, I'm leveraging my reputation, right? I'm leveraging who I am, right? And people in my circle, right? I tell people all the time, like, if you can't catch the fish that you farmed, you know what I mean? Like you farm these fish. If you can't catch those fish, you have no business going out to the ocean trying to fish. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to be able to get the people around you, because we all know people that are, and even if it's not that person, right? They know somebody that is going to want to buy or sell a house at some point, right? So I'm working my networks, my circles, you know what I mean, first and foremost, and servicing those people. And then as I do that and find success in that, it'll be much easier to go and get all these extra leads of people that I don't know, you know? But also, you know, that's not the only thing I do. I'm not just working my circle. You know, I have really good relationships with like local lenders, right?
Nice.
And they, like, if you work really well with them and they're like working with you, you know, their job is to get leads. They're trying to close deals, and then they start funneling you know, people that are already pre-approved, right? They're like, hey, I already got
That's right.
the person pre-approved for you. So it's about your reputation, building those relationships with people authentically, right? And then that's how I build my leads, you know, like, I get them from a couple different places. They come to me. I work my circle. I get them myself. And
that's it. And I'm glad to hear your spin on that. Like you said, 2 years into the business, well, a little more than two years into the business. And the reason why I say, because, you know, anytime we bring on a new talent, new broker, you know, I emphasize to them, are you ready to open up a business, right? I got this thing, what I say is, you're a business person who happens to have a license to sell real estate, right? Because again, you know, what we don't kill, I mean, we have to go out to get what we want, but we have to kill in order to eat. So I just think with that mindset, I'm not saying, hey, broker, where's the leads at, right? Because now if it does come, it's a plus. But if it does not come, I'm still able to be able to feed myself, so to speak, you know, as far as lead generating. You're in the business, that first deal. Tell us about it, brother. I know we always get them deals where was it a home run or was it a rocky one, right? Tell us about that first one.
My first deal was my easiest deal. I thought it was going to be a cakewalk, bro.
Okay.
I thought it was going to be a cakewalk. I was like, man, if this is how it's going to be on my first deal, like, great. Because I've had some pretty difficult deals, like most real estate agents, right?
Correct. Like we are, correct.
But my first deal was super easy, man. It was a couple that actually found me on social media.
Brother, I got to interject. Say that one. Where did they find you at?
They found me on social media.
There it is, people. Take advantage of the free social media, but go ahead.
Yeah. They found me on social media. Super diligent couple. Actually made me a really good realtor because of how diligent they were and how I had to be knowledgeable. It's not like they were pressing me or they were asking really good questions. You know what I mean? They were really good at communicating. So for me, I had to elevate to meet that standard with them. But it was super, super clean, man. The seller's agent as well was super cool. help guide through the process. It was a sweet deal, man. I'm not gonna lie. And it felt good as well because the couple, like, they didn't just choose me, right? They interviewed maybe like 3 realtors, like they interviewed like 3 realtors, and they're very open about that, So I went through an interview process with them, and at the end of it, they wrapped up, they chose me, got them into the place, just spoke to them not too long ago, and they're already thinking about what their next move is going to be, if they're going to sell and then go to the next place,
Nice.
So, yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing. It's already starting to come back around full circle. But yeah, man, my first one it was a good first one.
It was. You said some good things there, which I like. They was diligent, so it had up your level of intelligence and education as well, right? So, because you knew what you was dealing with. Okay, well, they interviewed, they chose me, so the expectation of you has to be high, so to speak, right?
Right.
But it made you better, like you said, it made me better for the next transaction. That alone, I mean, is so good. But one of the best things about your deal that you was blessed that you had a good cooperating agent on the other side, right?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Because that we all know that can wreck a deal, right? I've had transactions where as though the person, and this is no shot to someone just getting into the business, but an experienced agent broker can tell if you're typically brand new. So without getting too in depth, I had to I was the buyer's agent, he was the listing agent, and I had to make the agent aware of some areas that he needed to correct. And I told him, I said, listen, our whole goal is to get these people this property. We get paid. I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but if you could just follow my direction, I'm gonna help you out here, right? And I did, ended up helping him out, and he thanked me later because at first it was this ego thing, right? It was 2 guys. It was like, you can't tell me what to do. I know what I'm doing. It's like, but it shouldn't be that. It's like I'm here. I just want to close the deal, right? So, but anyway, I digress. But I commend you on that.
Yeah.
Got you into the business. Okay, so now things is moving. How was last year? How did you do? Pretty good,
man. I did good. I would say my first year was definitely successful. I made, and this, to me, this is a milestone, and this isn't like trying to brag, or this isn't
brag, brother. Sometimes we got to remind him.
I'm a humble dude, man.
Okay.
But my best month, right? My best month, I made more money in 1 month than at my highest paid salary when I was working the job. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, when that happened, I'm like, hold on. I'm like, wait a minute.
What's going on here?
I'm like, in this month alone, like, I closed, like, the best month I had, I closed a bunch of deals, right? And I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm like, in 1 month, and not every month is like that.
Correct, exactly.
Not every month is like that. I don't want to make it seem like I'm doing that month over month. But when that particular month hit, I'm just like, this is crazy. And I've made it work full time. I think that's another thing that a lot of realtors can't quite get to. I'm always kind of doing something else, or it's not their full time, right? It's what they do inside. So for me to make this my full time, it also frees me up to kind of figure out other ways and other means, right? Because real estate schedule is very, sometimes you're super crazy busy. Like I've been these last couple months, and everything's kind of in motion.
Correct.
Okay, wait a minute. Like I get to chill for a couple of weeks while everything just kind of processes.
Exactly.
You go hand some keys, So, digressing, that's another thing I love about real estate is it does kind of free me up to like make some other moves. And, I'm not tied up 9 to 5 every single day, and then all the other obligations that we all have just as people,
Quick commercial break. If you're interested in a career in real estate or you're a seasoned vet, and you might want to change, new environment, you don't like the atmosphere you're in, the Headley Group Realty could be there to assist you with your career. What do we offer? Great culture, great environment, leads, and an awesome commission structure. Let us be there to support your business. One thing, you got to be in the state of North Carolina. Let's get back to the show.
Let's touch on, which is one of the highlights of this interview here. Brother said he's a humble brother here, but this brother writes songs. I see multi-family here, songwriter. Brothers, tell us about the songwriting and how has that blessed you in this real estate industry?
Yeah. I mean, it's, real estate's hard, man. So trying to find fun, trying to keep it upbeat, because it's super stressful. And making music is one of the ways that I do that. I've, even since I was a kid, man, I've always been a big Tupac fan, that always encouraged me to write. You know what I mean? That's what he did. Even as a kid, I recognized that, right? He was always writing poetry. He's super prolific, like just a bunch of music in a short period of time, right? So I always recognized that. So I always was a writer. Like that was like the Tupac in me, right? Like I would write. So it just ties the knot, and I made music in college just for fun, as something to do in college, playing sports. That was a good time. But now I actually am able to use that skill in something that's like super productive and pointed towards something, right? So so like it's pretty cool, man. Like it's real estate driven. It's all about money motivation. It's all about personal motivation, right? Like I got a couple different songs. Like I got like multifamily, right? And then I got like appraisal, and it's like a play on your self-appraisal, right? Like your own worth, right? But it's like real estate, like double entendres, right? Like back and forth. Got a song called DocuSign, right?
Nice.
I got a bunch more that I'm working on, right? So it's an incredible marketing tool. It sets me apart from people, you know what I mean? Gives another reason for people to tap in and check it out. But then it's also like you get game through the songs. Like if you really pay attention and you listen, like you're getting game about like real estate,
So, exactly.
A lot of agents do a lot of first-time home buyer classes and this and that. It's like, man, listen to my music, bro, and you'll
I like that.
And I try not to be corny or like gimmicky. Like
correct.
Listen to it and like listen, like, man, that's like it's not a commercial, it's an actual song. You feel me? So yeah, that's my way of connecting with people, particularly Black and brown people. Like music is a super powerful tool that we connect with. So I'm not no superstar, nothing like that, but the people that they hear it, I get positive feedback on it. They like it, and I'm gonna keep on going, man. Like I said, I got a bunch in the vault, and I just, get them done and put them out and hope people enjoy.
I like that, man. Is DocuSign getting that check right? You promote that brand, brother. They tell them they gotta, I'm doing this free advertisement for y'all. Get the check right.
I'm waiting, bro. Let me, still building, but yeah.
It's featured in publication of Black Estate, right? You was on, what was you highlighting? Highlighting your experiences in real estate? What was that about?
That's another wonderful thing that I'm a part of. There's a broker out here, her name is Tanisha, and she basically wanted to start something that kind of like yourself, man, gave us a platform in the area to really promote ourselves. I'm really impressed with it because, as a businessman, we're all individuals, right?
Yes,
like
correct.
So even what you're doing is a beautiful thing because you're promoting other people, other realtors, other people.
Appreciate that.
You get what, like really no benefit from
exactly
like, it goes to them or whatnot. Like
exactly.
Or you're doing this off the strength. So
correct.
I appreciate that, and it's the same thing that she's doing with this publication, right? So
is she a broker? Is she a realtor, agent?
Yep, she's a realtor as well.
Okay, we might need to have her on the show.
Yeah, I'll connect the dots, man.
Exactly. Okay.
Love that. So yeah, man, it's a publication, highlights obviously services and businesses that are also in the industry, right? So then our clients, other folks can really pick up this publication, see a number of realtors basically telling these stories that are unique to them, that are unique to each realtor, along with all these services that are provided. It's going to just continue to grow. I see, real positive things coming from it. I'm real honored to be a part of it. It's another way for me to just get myself in front of people, use my skills, writing. It's wonderful. I love it.
That's a great thing, brother. And like you just said, that was the whole objective of me starting the podcast, is that there wasn't even though, again, there's thousands, if not probably up to millions now, but there's thousands of no podcasts. But I didn't see anything that really highlighted us at a level of just because you don't got 100,000 followers or hey, listen, a person just been in the business 2 years, 3 years, or 10 years. Let's give them their flowers now, so to speak, because who knows, it might be somebody watching this that might say, hey, I need a house in Portland, Oregon, you know, so, and you can be that person that can connect the dots.
Yeah.
If you had to go back a couple of years, right? And you said, even though, like I said, you're still in the learning process, would you change anything from now until when you first got licensed? Would you just go another way or direction or what?
Nah, man. I think things have panned out the way they're supposed to.
Okay.
I think they panned out the way they're supposed to. Made some really good choices in like where I hang my hat with my agency.
I like that.
You know, and that's really crucial in first getting started. You know,
Exactly.
You go somewhere, it might not work out, and then here you are just trying to figure out your place before you can really get the ball rolling, right? Because like once you start promoting stuff, like I don't want to be changing brokerages every year. You know, that's not consistency. That's not, you know, I get that it happens.
Correct.
And a lot of times for good reason it happens. You know, you get a better opportunity. Like it definitely happens. But for me, you know, like it's just unnecessary, right? Like unless you're gonna tell me like I'm gonna guarantee you like 20 deals like that I'm gonna give you or I'm gonna pay you, right? Or I'm gonna pay you to come over here. And even then, right, it's like a certain level of loyalty and relationships that I built. And
exactly,
you know, it would take a lot.
Okay, and I commend you on that as well, is because granted, like you said, if you're leaving for a reason, say if the brokerage wasn't doing things ethically or you just wasn't getting what you needed, you go to another company. But I've always said is kind of alluding to what you're saying. I don't want to be bouncing around, right? You go here, you go there, you go there. Then after a while, you look in the mirror and you be like, I think the issue's with you. You know, because essentially we all do the same thing, right? Some may add a little bit of this, some may not, some may not have as that, but we all essentially do the same thing. We help buyers and sellers, right? But yeah, I commend you on that as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Brother, you out there, you're in that market. Do you prefer buyers? I mean, for listings, work on buyers, investors, or what do you prefer?
Yeah, I mean, I've done all three, you know, whichever, you know, I work with whatever comes my way.
I'm the same way, brother. That's right.
And, you know, would I prefer more listings in this market? Like, of course, you know, but they're hard to get right now. Not a lot of inventory. I imagine it's similar out where you are.
Definitely.
You know, not a lot of inventory. So getting those listings is really, really difficult. So at the moment, I'm definitely working with a lot more buyers.
Okay.
The relationships are definitely different between buyer, seller, investor. But it still just depends on the people, you know.
Exactly.
You know, buyers, you're definitely doing a lot more running around, you know, a lot more emotion tied to buyers, I feel like.
Correct.
Selling side feels a little more business like. You know, I mean, I get it. They're paying the commissions, right? So
exactly. You're right.
You know, so I get it. I can't say I prefer one more than other. It kind of depends on the market. You know, like right now, it'd be great to have a whole bunch of listings and be on the seller side.
Nice.
You know,
correct.
You know, if it was a buyer's market, it'd be nice to be on the buyer side. You know, correct. So it just depends.
Correct. Exactly. Marcus, brother, you definitely enlighten us with so many great jewels, and you just be surprised the time fly by so quickly, right? Because again, we having this great conversation. Brother, we ask every guest who'll be on our show for 2 golden nuggets, right? Whether it be a scripture, a book, a quote, anything that inspires you, go ahead and give it to us.
Man, I really should have thought about this one. That's a really
Coach, I ain't catch you off guard, did I?
No, you didn't, man. You didn't, but that was one I definitely overlooked.
And whether it's a certain cup of coffee you like, or whether it's a certain scripture, anything.
Oh man, that's a tough one, man.
If you don't got one, that'd be fine.
No,
you got one.
I can't leave you like that, bro. I can't leave like that. This is what we're gonna do, man. Because I'm gonna keep it authentic, right?
Okay, that's what we like.
Keep it authentic, bro. So I'm gonna go with Thug Life, man.
Ooh, I like that.
A lot of people don't know the acronym, right? And and Thug Life stands for the hate you give little infants, F's everyone. Take care of the children, people. You know what I mean? We need to take care of the kids, and the world is wild. So I think it's really important, man. We focus on these young people and really create something. And that's what real estate is about too, right?
That's it.
Building a foundation for young people and leaving a legacy so that they're better off and able to make better moves than what we're able to do. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, Thug Life, man. The hate you give for infants fucks everybody. Excuse my language.
No, hey, listen, bro. We keep now. You can curse on the show. We keep it real, brother.
You should have told me that from the beginning, man.
Oh, I should tell you that. Damn, my bad, man. Yeah, we just we want people to be 100% authentic, because again, I think there's way more people who are authentic and raw like that versus the other side who put up this facade. Yeah. But Mr. Marcus, I want to thank you, brother. Thank you for being on the Headley Group Real Estate Show. You are an alumni now, right?
I like it, man. I appreciate it.
And we want to support that brother in Portland, Oregon. Again, any real estate needs, he is the guy that can help you out. And don't forget, this brother is a songwriter. So if you need a song written, you might want to DM him.
I'll let you know.
Well, we want to thank you, brother, for being on the Headley Group Real Estate Show. And we'll see you all next time.
I appreciate you, my man.
All right.
Hey, gang, I hope you really enjoyed that show. Our guests provide us some great tips and insight, and please support them on all social media platforms. And while I'm saying that, support us on all social media platforms, and don't forget, watch the entire video on YouTube. We'll see you next time.